You see the recording starting?
Oh, yeah, that's me. Oh, wait, you went away.
I'm here.
Oh, being real low. Okay, Colleen, you talk. I have to adjust the volume.
Okay. Testing. Can you hear me? We're going to start in the chair. And put our hands. Yes. Put our hands on our thighs.
Okay, I think so. If it's too loud, I'll turn it down. Over here.
So hands on the thighs. Gently close your eyes. Give ourselves a few minutes here to settle in. Get our heads and thoughts inside the room for the next hour. Feel the warmth of your thighs since your hands are on them. Lift the toes up and experience that sticky mat. Do your own first assessment of your breathing. Just kind of a normal inhale and exhale, but one that you're thinking of, and just notice if it feels a little choppy. And we can open our eyes. We're going to start with some neck movements. So just let the head tilt back. Just warming up here, and then chin to chest. Tilt back and chin to chest. Back up to neutral, right ear, right shoulder. Chin to chest. Left ear, left shoulder. Chin to chest. Right ear, right shoulder. Except now we're just going to tilt, I hope I cue this right. Right ear, right shoulder. And then you're just going to tilt your head back while it's at this angle in hopes of stretching the left muscle on the front side of your neck. So if you have to kind of play with that a little bit, just stretching the side of our neck. And let's bring the head back up to neutral. Try this on the other side. Left ear, left shoulder, left ear, left shoulder. And then tilt the head back, seeing if you can get at the right side of the neck now. And then bring the head back up to neutral. And let's take the right hand. We're going to do some isometric work. Take the right hand on the top of, right above the left ear. And we're going to use the strength in our hands, and we're going to pull towards our head, but our head's going to push against the hand. So isometric means things are working, but I can't tell how hard they're working because it's not like the neck is moving. And then we release, and then we do it again, and release. And it's that pull, push, head versus hand. And release. Let's do that on the other side. So the left hand's above the right ear, and you're going to pull, have the opposing forces. Go, hand into the head. release, push, pull, push, pull, push, release, and again. Hands clasped behind the head, same thing. We're going to press our head just like we could in the backrest of our car, that neck rest. Press against the hands and let the hands push into the neck, into the back of the head. And let it release. And go. Release. One more time. And release. I'm going to turn sideways, but you don't have to because I think you're going to see this easier. It's kind of like the rooster neck. We've done this, I think, before. So if you put your finger on your chin, what we're trying to do is we all have this natural curve in our neck. We're stretching the back of the neck, pressing our chin straight back, trying to get a long neck. And then we jut it forward and then back. Forward. I want to see how everybody's doing. Let's go back and forth, keeping the chin parallel to the floor. So I've talked about this before. Remember, for each inch that our head is forward of our shoulders, it's an extra 10 pounds that our body bears. Our head is already, what, 10 to 11 pounds. That's kind of a deal. It's like our little spine has to work that hard. So each inch that we have forward head, that's an extra another 10 pounds. So if you're 2 inches forward and walking around that way, that's just such extra weight on the shoulders and constant tension. So that's just why we work on the posture and trying to keep our ears over the shoulders, and I'll often think of that. So it's kind of mind-boggling to have you ever seen anybody, there's a lady, you can stop doing that, there's a lady that goes to our church down here, and bless her heart, she's such a good servant of the Lord. She walks like this, and she works in the kitchen, she works, bless her heart, but honestly, she's got to walk with her hands back here to counter the forward weight, because now she's got the levers back here to help counter. I just feel bad for her. It looks so painful, but she's always got a smile on her face. Maybe it's not pain, but I try to remind my mom of that too, because it gets harder. Gravity, after 89 years, whew, gravity's a tough one. Okay, we're going to do some seated twists. So let's start our twists just grabbing, and we can let our hands rest on our chest, our elbows rest. I want you to notice something. So we're going to do twists, and we're just going to change our hand positions. So our first twist of the day, we don't need to, do anything too jarring, but notice as you twist to the right and to the left, what your range of motion is. So when we twist, we want to twist from a long spine, and we want to think our oblique muscles, the sides of our abs, are what we're working here. So just notice your range, how much you can twist.
It hurts to touch my fingers a bit because I'm doing the lift of the plank every day.
Okay, now we're going to switch the hands, and we're going to put hands to elbows in front. Now twist and see how much further. And now this, fingers to fingers. How much further can you twist? So why is that? And then if you want to go long arms, because when we have our arms in different positions, it's calling on different parts of our spine to twist. And there's certain parts of our spine that are not really designed to twist too well. I mean, our neck does. The thoracic, right up here, doesn't twist well. But we get down here and we can twist a whole lot better. So I always think that's interesting how this kind of is very restricting of our twist because of how our hands are and what spine muscles it needs to recruit to enable us to twist with our arms in this position. So, okay, shoulder rolls. Just some shoulder rolls. And I just found like 3 one way, 3 the other, 3 circles. And then shoulders to the front. And then open the chest, shoulders pull back and down. Very good. To the front. Open, back, and down. Again. And open. Grab a hold of the chair somewhere here. Walk yourself out to the front of the chair. So here's the thing. I look out and I see everybody's got this good wide open chest. That's why we can change our arm positions and it opens the chest. Now with this open chest and hang on to something of the chair, we're just going to hinge forward. And see what you notice in this position if you slowly bring your chin to the chest, how far down you might feel that. When I do chin to chest in that position, I can feel the stretch almost all the way down on my back. And then come up to seated. We are going to do some ab work seated in the chair. So I'm going to turn sideways just so you can see what this looks like. So this is the one we're going to do this. So notice my back stays straight. I'm not going back like this. Keeping our back, our spine long. Just play with that. Get your right spot on the seat so you've got enough room to work the abs. You can touch your abs. They should be engaged when you lean back. And then come back up to seat. So you should feel tightness there. When you lean back, they're contracting so you don't fall backwards. And up. And back. Extend that right leg. Bend the knee and come up. And back. Extend the leg. Come back up. Pull the knee up. Send the leg long. And leg long. Leg finds the ground. Come back up. We got to do that on the other side. Let's do 5 on the other side. So we're going to lean back using our core and let that leg go long. 1. Back up. 2. Up. 3. Up. 4. Up. 5. Hold. Hold it and breathe. And come back up. Inhale our arms up. Stretching, reaching out of the rib cage, and just do a forward fold, seated forward fold. And let yourself hang out here. If you're comfortable, you can let your head dangle between your knees. Let yourself feel a stretch wherever you want. The low back, you want to let the crown of your head dangle towards the floor. Rib cage resting on your thighs. Nod your head yes and no. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. And then walk your hands back up into seated. And we'll stand up. Look at that. What do we have? 20 minutes in the chair. How about that? Didn't even get out of the chair.
Barb Kathy is doing chair yoga out in Arizona. And she said they're doing everything in the chair. So
That
she's
working?
been going
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for the class down here, I've started in the chair, but you know, people can do more than they think, so we're out of the chair more. But, yeah. Okay, let's get our legs warmed up with the in, out, out. And we can use our arms. Out, out, in, out, out, in, out, in. Out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out. You guys are making me laugh. Out, out, in. Okay, let's start over. Reset. I'm gonna start with my right leg. Out, out. Right leg in. Out, out, in. Out, out, in. Out, out, in. Out, out, in. Are we getting it?
Yes. Yeah.
Out, out, in. Out, out, in. Look straight up, not at your feet. Out, out, in, out. Oh, we're just walking places.
Why don't we just walk around the room?
All right. Let's get into a few sun salutations. So wherever you want the chair to be, or get it out of your way.
Did you hear Sally?
No.
This well. You don't want to know.
What'd you say?
I said, why don't we walk around the room?
Oh yeah, well, because I like, you know what? When I see you guys, I can tell you're all really focused, and some people are really trying to look at their feet. Like, why aren't you doing what I think you should be doing? Like, it's just. And then I think you get into the groove, and then if I say words, it's funny how sometimes just me talking distracts people, and I don't know if you notice that, but I do as a teacher. So it's like I have to be a little careful when I insert words because it really gets everybody off their groove. But all right. So now we're going to do this 1, 2, 3, lift the knee and balance thing. 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3. Just go at your own pace. If you want to hold your lips shorter, longer, just practice.
Balance is opposite. Yeah.
Yep, find a spot in front of you that's not moving. Probably don't want to look at me. All right. Sun salutation. Let's do that. I'm gonna go to this side of my mat. So sun salutations. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, or standing forward fold. You can lift one, alternate lifting heels, all kinds of things that you probably know or enjoy doing with your own sun salutation. Pushing hips from side to side is an option. Letting the head dangle towards the crown of the head towards the floor. Inhale and stay at a half lift for a few breaths. Imagining that long spine from the tailbone out through the crown of the head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, mini back bend cactus arms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, cactus mini back bend, shining the heart towards the ceiling. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Arms at 3 and 9 o'clock. Come back up to center, arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, chair, airplane arms. Chair, send that rear end way back there. Press into the floor. Coming up to stand. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to the right, twist. Arms at 3 and 9 o'clock. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale into our chair with airplane arms, thumbs away from you out to the sides. See if you can lower down, get that rear, working the thighs, the tops of the legs. And come up to stand. And arms down. All right, now let's get our chairs. Probably at the top of the mat, I think works with the seat of the chair. Downward facing dog is where we're going. All right, let's go into the downward facing dog. So your hands on top of the chair, they can grab on the sides, whatever you feel most stable in, and step your feet back as far as you can, as comfortable and as stable, and let your chest lower to the floor. See if you can get your arms straight. Adjust your feet if needed through all this. And finding a stable left foot, we're going to lift the right foot off the ground. Three-legged dog. The right foot, the right leg is long behind us at hip height, toes pointed down. And then I want us to curl that right leg under us and draw that right knee to the right elbow. Towards it, maybe you can touch it, but get close. And then send that leg long again. Three-legged dog. Bring that right knee across, underneath and across to the left elbow. And send it long. And bring the knee and the nose together. And send the leg long. And then let's do 5 pulses with that leg. Pulse that right leg up high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's come up, stand, shake our hips out a little bit. We'll do that on the other side. Downward facing dog. We're going to balance this time on our right side. When you're ready, three-legged dog with the left leg. Left leg at hip height. Toes pointed down to the mat of that left leg. Left knee, left elbow. And send it back. Left knee, right elbow. And send it back. Left knee, chin. Nose, something close. And send it back. And then we'll do those little pulses with that left leg, wearing out the standing leg too. Let's lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold. And just bring that left leg down to meet the right. So we're back to downward facing dog. And then we're going to rock ourselves forward to where our elbows and shoulders are over our hands into plank. So if you need to adjust where your feet are, go ahead and do that. We want one long, strong line of the body. Should really have to engage your core here. And we're looking down between our hands. And breathe. And then send your self back into downward facing dog one more time. And then walk yourself up to the chair to stand. Let's roll the wrists, fists, fingers. Open, close, open, tight. Open, close. Okay, wide-legged. So if you still want to use your chair, I'd put the chair on the long seat on the long end of the mat. That way, when your feet stay on the sticky mat, whatever you want in front of you there, if you want your chair in front or if you've gotten comfortable with this, I didn't have people bring blocks out, but sometimes that's a good prop to use too. Okay, so wide-legged. The outer edges of the feet are parallel to the edges of the mat. And we're going to put our hands on our low back. So our elbows are facing back and gently I'm going to move sideways so you can see. Without doing a big cranking of our back, we're going to do a little back bend here, but I want you to think of keeping this as long as you can before you get into the back bend versus sinking into the back bend. So just play with that. So you're like lifting your rib cage up. Opening the front of the chest again, looking up towards the ceiling and breathing. And then come back up to stand. Okay, inhale, arms up. We'll go into that wide-legged forward fold. So your hands somewhere, maybe your fingertips, I don't know what everybody's. Very good. Wow, you guys. Anybody remember when we first did this for them and how much more they've improved? You cannot tell me. Let's take the right hand underneath us on the floor somewhere. Your finger touch the left hand underneath the nose. We're going to take the right hand, the back of the right hand to our low back, and then press against that left hand into the floor and help us get into a twist. There we go. There we go. There we go. And let's undo that. Let's bring the right hand down right underneath our nose. The back of the hand, left hand, is resting on our low back. And we press our right hand into the floor, helping us to turn our torso towards the left. And then both hands back where we started on the floor. So here's a challenge that you might want to try. We're going to stand up differently. So we're going to, if you're comfortable with this, both hands find your low back. And then you use your core to stand up. Oh, look at there. Let's go down again.
One thing I understand.
So my hands are still behind my back. I just did a forward fold. The hands are still behind the back. And now I'm using my core to come back up to stand. Yay, my goodness gracious. All right, let's heel toe, whatever you need to do to get out of that. Horse pose. This one, we are also doing wide leg, but our feet are at a 45-degree angle. This is one where we're going to go straight down. So we go down and up. Down. And arms go up when our legs go straight. And when we bend, let's go into cactus arms. Yep. And up. I'm going to really slow this down. It's going to feel like a little more work when we slow it down. Let's go down and hold. Hold, think of the shoulders over the hips, shoulders. And we're breathing. And straighten everything, come back up. Hand down. Down into horse pose. Keeping our legs where we're at, where they're at. The arms in cactus. Let's just tilt our upper torso to the right. So we're doing a little side bend with cactus arms. Come back up to center. We're still in horse pose legs, and bend to the left. Back up to center. Down a little lower, maybe, and then press on the floor and come up. And arms down to the side. Clasp your hands behind you. And we're going to hinge forward, but make sure you're stable on your feet. We're going to hinge forward and draw our clasped hands up towards the ceiling. And breathe, breathe. And then press into the floor and use our core to stand up. Undo, and let's come out of that. Good job, everybody. My goodness. Okay, I'm actually going to have us get in the chair again. And we're gonna do a few of the standing poses. I want to show you how we can do those pretty effectively in a chair. So legs wide. Let's see, how am I gonna do this? Left bent knee, normal seated position with the left leg. We're going to send the right leg long. I want this one wide. I got to think through this. Sorry about that. Left leg is at an angle. Left leg's at an angle, and the right leg is long with toes up. There we go. Now we can get into our warrior two. Remember, it just kind of looks a little different here. And the left hand, the one that's over the bent knee, is going to come up into that reverse warrior. Like we're giving that back wall a high five. So we are laterally bending away from the bent knee.
No, see, you were right. There you go. No, our left arm in here. Left arm in here. That's right on down. There you go.
Okay, thank you. So to help, you can take this the right arm, and find something on the chair too to hang on to. But we can still get a good side stretch here. And then come back to the warrior two. And now with this left hand, I'm going to find the chair down someplace down here, or the floor if you can get down that low. And we're going to take this right arm over into like a side angle, but it's seated. You're right. Yeah, it's
The opposite.
Yeah.
You just can't see all of us behind you.
I can't see you, Deanne, with that. Okay, and then come up. And we're still in warrior two. And now we've got to switch that and see if I can remember that sequence. The right leg is the neutral. Well, we're taking the right leg wide and straightening the left leg. Arms out to shoulder height. I'm going to think through this one. So then the right hand's going to come up. Right hand, palm up. And do that high five over on the left side, stretching out the right side of the body, if we're all in sync there. Again, this hand can find a chair. And when we are at this angle, and especially since we've got a chair to maybe hang on to and use, we can actually open our right armpit more and open our chest and get into a different spot than while seated that we might not be comfortable doing while standing. Then come back up. Warrior two. And now reach to the right. Side bend. So you're going to grab onto the chair and bring that left arm right next to your ear and biceps close to each other, and see that long line from the left foot and we breathe. Oh, wow. Gorgeous, ladies. I mean, look at your stretching. Wow. And we come back up to warrior two. And let's bring the legs together. Cross right knee over left knee. If you can hook your feet, hook your feet. If not, we're just going to stay like this, and we're going to squeeze the thighs together. We've spent a lot of time with our legs wide. We're taking them different. So to squeeze, isometric. I can't see how, if you're even doing anything, but you're going to squeeze and then release. Squeeze the thighs together and release. Just like if you put your hand in there, you may be squeezing your hand, if that helps. Like, again, I can't see what people are doing. I have to assume you are doing it. And release. And squeeze. And release. Uncross, other side. Left knee over right knee. And squeeze. And release. Squeeze. And release. Squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Okay, before we get on the floor, one more seated, and I'm actually going to have us be on our bellies on the floor. So let's get the right ankle over the left knee for a seated figure 4, getting into the side, the piriformis, right side of the hip. So right ankle over the left knee, we sit tall. Depending on your tightness, that might be enough right here to already feel it. You can hinge forward. You can play with pressing this knee up and down. And come up, and let's do that other side. Left ankle over the right knee. Sit up tall. Hinge forward. I like to think of leading with the heart. That kind of gets in our mind that we're not slumping over. And you can play with moving that knee towards the floor and up. And we'll come up. Whew. To the floor on the belly. So I'm really going to have to cue well this time. So I'm going to probably spend more time watching you, because I know if you're not doing it right, then I haven't cued it right. So that's how I will know, because you can't often see me. So on your bellies, into Sphinx pose. And it looks like Connie's there already. So elbows, tops of the feet are on the mat. Our forearms are on the floor. Shoulders over the elbows. And we think of peeling the front of our chest off of the mat. This is a back bend, if you can't tell. And I want you to think of, of pulling the elbows towards in together, even though I still want the elbows underneath the shoulders. Elbows underneath the shoulders. So your forearms would be like the number 11, right next to each other. Okay. And then come down and put your forehead over crossed hands and give your back a break. So just notice how that feels in your back. You know, you should feel that in your back. And let's come up again, find Sphinx pose again. Elbows close to the body, elbows close to the body, underneath the shoulders. And think of letting your glutes relax, no clenching butt cheeks. And see how that feels with your back. Sometimes our rear ends clench because our back doesn't want to release. It just wants to hold it. You can just experiment with that. And then forehead back down on your crossed hands again. And now take your feet as wide as the mat. So your legs go wider, and you just let your heels drop towards the center. So the toes are away from the mat. It's crocodile pose. Yeah, Karen, you got it right. Yep, yep. Dan, my goodness, I think I can see you. Is your entire foot on the floor? Oh my goodness.
not the other. Only one.
Oh my gosh. Jeez. Good external rotation there. Okay, now I want you to bring the tops of your feet close to each other again. So now you can bring your legs together. And I want your forehead on the mat and your arms are in cactus. There we go. And you're keeping your head right where it's at. The only thing that's going to move is you're going to take your arms off the mat. Your head's going to stay. You're going to lift, and it's a back strengthener, and arms down. And up. Cactus arms up. Very good. And down. Should feel this squeeze up. And we're breathing. We're not holding our breath. And down. This time, keeping your gaze down at your mat, just like it is right now. Lift your cactus arms and your head off the mat. And your head, keeping your gaze down. Excellent. And lower down. We're going to do that 2 more times. And up. Breathe. And down. And up. And down. Okay, we're going to come up to all fours, but not for long, because I want to see how do people do in child's pose. And child's pose is going to look different with everybody. So even if you're just like this and you're not all the way back on your heels, it's fine. Let me just see what everybody can do, is comfortable doing. So some of you that don't like being on your knees, Connie, I think does this hurt? Are you okay? Because this one, if you're back far enough, you shouldn't be directly on your knees. This is a stretching the front of the knees. I'm watching. Arms long, arms stretching to the front of the mat if you can. And then come up to seat and kind of swing your legs out to the side so we can, there we go. Okay, before we lie down on the floor, you can see me. Okay, I'm going to bend again. I want to see what everybody can do. So I really kind of want to see what people are doing here. So we're going to bend this leg like this. Like almost like a butterfly, one leg butterfly. Then we're going to take this other leg over cross, just like this. Okay. What are we noticing? I know this is what I really miss not being there because it's hard to have a dialogue. So this is actually a pose. So everybody's just going to look different. I can't see Deanne at all, so you own yourself, Deanne. So this is cow pose, and all we're doing, this is hip, if you can't tell. We are trying to get our knees stacked over each other. So this knee is over top of this knee. And then these come in, but if we're like this, we're like this. I just kind of wanted. Okay.
This way?
I can see that. I think you're doing that right. So I'm going to just keep going. People that are kind of where you're at, stay there. I want to continue queuing on this pose because I think there's a few people that can take it all the way. So we eventually get to our knees are resting, stacked on top of each other, and then these come as close to us as we can. So this is a knee mobility, and it takes our knee just in some different ways. But if you are not comfortable doing that, and then we want to make sure, because if we are tight in the back, it's going to be really hard to sit up straight. So sometimes when we sit up straight, then something's got to give and these come up, which is fine too. So the true pose of cow face, I don't know why they call it that. And then we find our sits bones. Going uncrossed. Thanks for giving it a try, but we got to go the other direction too. So now the opposite leg, whatever you had. Even if you just cross leg over leg, Sally, yes. And try to sit up straight to wherever your legs feel comfortable, and then just strive to get a long spine.
The knees holding.
Yep, it's okay. You know what? For you sitting like that, if you feel that in your knees right there, stay there. And then come out of it and go back in. But what we observe in this is how maybe it was easier to get both knees down when we've got a position that we like better. Like sometimes if we got the right over the left, things work better, but if we flop them, we just got extra tightness. So let's undo that. Thanks for giving it a try. Take the leg long. You can hold yourself up with your hands and just kind of wiggle your legs out. And since you can see yourself here, I assume let's use your hands for that long tall. I must keep it. Let's keep long and tall and point and flex the feet alternating. Both feet flexed. Both feet point. And flexed. And then let them fall, and then fall all the way down onto your backs. All the way down in your back. Left leg goes long. You're going to pull the right bent knee in. Just pull the knee in, grab below the knee, behind the thigh, and pull the right knee towards the right armpit. And breathe. And then let's do that opening and closing of the right hip. So we're hanging on with our right hand and opening that hip, dropping the right knee away from us and then pulling it back up. Let's do that a couple times. And then when we get that right knee up over our hip, take the left hand on the outside of that right knee, and now that knee is going to go across the body and see if that right knee can find the floor in a reclined twist. Take your gaze away from the bent knee. So to me, that'd be my gaze is to the right. My knee is off to the left side. And then let's come back up. Reset your position on the mat. Square up in case you got a little twisted in that twist. Send the right leg long and pull the left knee in towards the armpit. And then open and close that left hip. And next time, let's get that right knee squared up over the hip and let that right knee fall across the body, seeing if it can find something close to the floor. You let your left foot find the floor. And if you want to protect that or you're kind of cautious, you can always use that right hand. It's right there. And then send your gaze to the left, away from your twist. And then bring that back up to center. And give yourself a low back massage. And Deanna, if you want to go turn the lights off. Roll back and forth on the low back. And when you're ready, we will have a quiet 3-minute Shavasana. That's 11:01, so I went a little over. We'll have 3 minutes, and I'll talk periodically to know that we're still going. There won't be music because that seems to not work. So do your own body scan, starting with the feet. Noticing where any tension might be. If you're not sure, give yourself some tension and then release it. Let your body recognize this is what tension is, and this is what it isn't. Sometimes that helps. The legs feel heavy. Kneecaps are relaxed. The low back, the glutes are relaxed. The shoulders. Feel each of the shoulder blades. The jaw. Place one hand on your heart, right hand on your heart, the left hand on your belly. Maybe you can feel your heart beating in both places. The body follows the mind. The mind follows the breath. Slow your breath. Calm your mind and your body. Let's bring our hands over our heart, palms together, and bring our thumbs down, resting on our heart in prayer position. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy and healthy. May you be safe. May the practice of yoga continue to benefit your life as well as the lives all around you. Namaste. Slowly make your way up to a seated.
How's your mom doing?
I was telling Dan earlier, my sister is staying at our house this week and they're hanging out with her. My sister from Green Bay. So they're staying at our house and hanging out all week. I talked to Mom this morning and she sounds good. I said, are they wearing you out yet? And she went, oh no.
I'm wearing them out.
My grandson has learned how to play the game Sorry. He's 5. And he is not a good loser. And we can keep working on it. And he just doesn't like it when he leaves the game, he pouts, and then he comes back when it's his turn and he's over it. And then it's like, oh my gosh, Tommy, you got some work to do on this. So it's kind of funny.
Crazy eights.
Huh?
We started out with crazy eights with Colton. And that is like, it's good because you can kind of always kind of win in that.
I'd have to
But
forget that game. I'd have to.
You deal out 5 cards, and then you follow suit or numbers, and 8 changes suit.
Oh, changes suit. It's like, what's an 8 do? Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Good. And you can do that with a regular deck of cards?
Yes. I mean, we've gone where we had to keep playing because nobody would ever go out. It goes on forever. So there's never a loser.
Okay. Is that a one deck thing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Try that.
Play Monopoly. Stop.
Amy win. Oh, we played Monopoly for 2 days. Amy win and just.
If my calls. Have I been able to go to work with Greg?
Why don't you stay on? I can call you.
Okay. And then just a speakerphone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Sounds
Oh.
great.
Yep.